God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, for you are our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Well, we all face big questions in life from time to time, don't we? And we can all think of some of the big questions that we've had to deal with. Should I get married? If so, when? That's a big question, isn't it? Y'all just been through that with one of your buddies. Everybody have to dress up and everything like that. What career will I select among all the things that I can do with my life? Where will I go to school? That's a big decision. And of course, all of our brothers and sisters at Methodist University say, come here. It's a great place to go. That's a big decision. Big questions. Where will we live? What will we do? What church will we go to? All decisions that help guide your life. Jesus asked a big question in our lesson for today. He and the disciples had retreated north from the Sea of Galilee. They've gotten out of Judea and Samaria and Jerusalem. It was pretty hot for them down there. They had said some controversial things and people were plotting against them, so they went north to one of the Roman cities, Caesarea Philippi. Caesarea for Caesar, he was Roman. Philippi, he was the local king. So it's Philip's Caesar city. It's a big Roman city. And he sends the disciples out and he says, see what people are saying. Just talk to people in the street. Has anybody heard about this Jesus person? Has anybody heard about what's going on around the Sea of Galilee? Come back and bring me a report. Who do they say the Son of Man is? Jesus using that mystical, mysterious term that he used for himself. And they say, well, lots of people got lots of different ideas. Some say that you're John the Baptist. And some say that you're like a prophet. You're like Elijah or Jeremiah. They were great prophets. Jesus says, well, who do you say that I am? And it's old Simon Peter, the rough fisherman, who says, you are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God. A great confession at Caesarea Philippi. And Jesus says, God bless you, Simon. You're not smart enough to figure this out by yourself, but God has spoken to your heart. God has revealed this to you. You have made the great confession, and it's upon that faith that I'm going to base my movement. And then we have almost like a little coronation scene, because Jesus does three things. He says, I change your name. You used to be named Simon. You're now named Peter. Petros, the rock. Upon this rock I will build my church. Petros. Changes his name. He gives him authority. He says, I hand you the keys to the kingdom. If you go to Rome now and you go into St. Peter's Cathedral and you look at the great chair there where the Pope sits, it's called St. Peter's chair, and above it is a big stained glass window, and on it has the sign of the Pope, and the sign is two great big cross keys. I give you the keys to the kingdom. And then finally he says, I give you authority. What you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. What you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Binding and loosing. We don't speak that way in our modern language. It was a Hebrew term. It was a Hebrew idea. When you bind something, that means you say you can't have that. No. Bind it down. The word is asir. When you forbid something on this earth, it's going to be forbidden in heaven. When you approve of something, hatir, when you approve of something here, it's going to be approved in heaven. You have spiritual power to make decisions on this earth that are reflected in the heavenly realm. That's kind of an odd and deep spiritual teaching, isn't it? The only other time Jesus speaks of binding in the New Testament is when he tells a little story about robbing the strong man. He says, you go into a strong man's house to rob him, you better tie him up first. Binding the strong man. Binding evil. Binding the devil. We are talking about spiritual matters here, friends. We're talking about spirits of the world, and we're talking about binding, tying down, limiting those things that are evil, the evil influences around us. One translation for the word asir is to imprison. Throw the devil in jail. We can protect ourselves and the ones that we love by binding evil in this world. There is evil in this world. I say the good news is the good news because it's the answer to the bad news. The bad news is there's evil in this world. The good news is it doesn't win. We win through the power of Jesus Christ. But there's plenty of evil in the world. Now, in our modern mind, many of us have kind of gotten away from the concept of evil. It's in the Bible. It's there a whole lot. We kind of say, well, when we do something wrong, we were just mistaken. We just made an error.